So, okay, Richard, please start us off. Thank you.
All right, Coach. What do you see out of Temple this week? This week.
Yeah, looking at Temple, their defense, they've changed a little bit schematically from what they were a year ago. I think they're doing some really good things. They got very downhill and aggressive linebackers in a front that really gets after it. They do a great job in the back end secondary. They mix up their coverages really well. You're going to see a whole different variety of coverages. There's some carryover from the scheme that we played last week against Tulsa, where they've kind of got the three safety look in the back end, and there's a multitude of things that they do out of that, which can be a little tricky. So I think they've done a tremendous job structurally with that stuff, and they're second in the country right now stopping the pass, and you can tell why with some of the coverages that they run, the variations that can make it pretty difficult on a quarterback. So really got to lock in this week at the quarterback position, pass game wise, to make sure that we're on point and knowing where to go with football.
And what have you seen out of the offensive side of the ball this week, specifically in like a young guy like Timmy after, kind of a heartbreaking loss last week?
For sure. So, after anytime you lose a tough game, it's hard, and everything's about how you respond to what happened. There's nothing that we can do to affect what's happened in the past, what happened against Tulsa, and we've got to move forward. That was kind of our message at the beginning of the week, and honestly, we've had some of the best practices of the year these last couple of days. Today, we had a really good practice, and Q's been great about it. We're all taking ownership of our mistakes and working to go get better, and he's done that, and he'll continue to do that. And he wants to be great, and he's going to put that work in to make sure when he comes out this Saturday against Temple, we get a different result.
And then the last one for me is against Tulsa. I mean, through the first 5 games of the season, it looked like Jaron was, a north-south short yardage kind of guy. But against Tulsa, he showed off a little bit of like that wiggle. Did that surprise you, or did you know he had that in him?
Against Tulsa, schematically, they do a really good job of taking away some of the inside run game stuff. And, we still wanted to get Jaron the ball a bunch. And so there was a little bit more perimeter plays and things that you saw him get out in space in this game. And he didn't disappoint when he got those opportunities. He definitely did that a little bit more than we've seen in the past. So it was definitely impressive. And he's really just continued to be a staple in our offense. And somebody, when he gets the ball in his hands, continues to do really good things. So we got to make sure that we get him the ball as much as possible.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Joey Johnston. You're on mute, Joey.
Coach, how do you measure progress? I mean, beyond the stats, beyond the obvious stuff that everyone can see, what do you look for in your guys week to week that shows that they're getting better and they're progressing?
Yeah, I think, as we watch the tape and we see how we're executing, what we're doing is really the biggest thing. And, obviously stats are a big thing, and you look at those for sure. But more than that, it's, how are we progressing? What are we doing? Are we taking steps in the right direction? And, sometimes you don't. And I felt like last week was a week where we didn't take a step in the right direction. But I see that our guys are continuing to work, continuing to fight. They're playing hard. They're doing what they can. And, I think everybody's really committed. And we know we didn't play our best game on Saturday against Tulsa. And I think we can play a lot better this week. And that's what we're going to continue to work towards.
Coach Scott was saying that maybe some things that broke down this last game, maybe third and long situations, and also a lot of pressure on Timmy. How do you bone up both of those areas moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a variety of things. Number one, being in third and long situations are never advantageous, and so that's really where a defense can kind of come out and step on your throat, and they can control it a little bit. And so we'll do some different things protection wise to get some help, get the ball out quick. You can run the ball on third and long in some situations as well, utilize screen game. So those are some things that we can do. But really for us, it's more about making sure that we don't get into those third and long situations by executing on first and second down and not getting into those long distance situations. So there's certainly some things that we'll be able to do protection wise and coaching wise to help clean some of those things up. And then also, utilize different techniques and different plays to be able to help out. But really it's more about first, second down execution. Third and long is a very hard distance to convert regardless. And, Timmy's done actually some good things on those third and long situations using his legs to be able to pick up some first downs. But we got to continue to be in third manageable.
Okay. Thank you, Coach. We'll have Coach Weis in momentarily.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Great. All right, we'll go ahead and get started with Coach. Please raise your hand if you got a question. Joey, you want to lead us off? Joey can hear us. Richard, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Just what do you see out of Temple this week?
Multiple formations, shifts, really a pain in the tail. It really forces you to simplify a little bit. When you have a lot of tight end sets, 2 tight end sets that come out like 10 looks, and then they move them in the box. So receiver motion, tight end motions. The run game is mostly zone principles. It's just different ways to get to it. Got a quarterback with a live arm. They don't try to do too much. I'm expecting people to try to get physical with us and try to beat us in the run game because we struggled stopping the run.
Joey, you got a question for Coach? Okay, Coach, thanks. We'll let you go. Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right.
Nice and easy.